The story, the main story coming out of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, it's not the fact that Mommy herself, Rhea Ripley, came out at number 1, ran the entire other 29 other women, became the first women in history to win the Royal Rumble match from the number 1 spot in WWE history. No, that's not the story. And, well, she's going to WrestleMania. Who knows who she'll challenge for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania? We'll find out later on tonight on Raw. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But the story coming out of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is that Sami Zayn is the honorary Uce no more. And I know if you didn't watch the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, you might think, well, that means he's a full-fledged Uce. He's part of the bloodline. He fulfilled his commitment to the family, and now that to be true. The fact of the matter is, Sami Zayn made his decision on Saturday night in San Antonio, and he decided to not take out his former friend, Kevin Owens, in the middle of the ring. And after that main event, the third Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns in Royal Rumble pay-per-view history, the Bloodline came out and they decided what they had just done to what Roman Reigns had just done to Kevin Owens was not enough. They had to send a message. They had to get rid of the KO problem permanently. The Usos came down. Solo Sikoa came down. They continued the beatdown. They continued the punishment on Kevin Owens. And much like how the story has played out over the past 9 months, this is very dramatic television, very cinematic, very film-like television. And it got to the point where watching the Usos and Solo Sikoa continue to beat down Kevin Owens, it felt like we were watching torture on WWE TV. And then Roman Reigns was about to finish the job. He had a steel chair in hand, and Sami Zayn got in between the Tribal Chief and Kevin Owens, who was already handcuffed to the ropes. And then Roman Reigns thought to himself, that's right, I don't have to do it. I'm the Tribal Chief. I already took him out. You are not a full-fledged member of this family yet, but here is the test for you to do so. Take this steel chair, strike your former best friend Kevin Owens while he's down, while he's pretty much unconscious. Strike him down, get rid of this KO problem for good, for us, for your family, and then you will truly be Sami Uso. And then Sami Zayn segment. And then we pretty much got a call back to that 2014 Monday Night Raw where Seth Rollins turned his back on the Shield and struck Roman Reigns with a steel chair to his back. We got that pretty much exact same moment, exact same feel, only with the biggest pop that I've heard in recent history with Sami Zayn striking Roman Reigns in the back. We got Reigns, his face, his mannerisms, everything that the Tribal Chief was communicating to the camera, to the audience at home, was PTSD. It just happened again. Only 9 years later. And then the beautiful, masterful storytelling taking place. Sami Zayn, knowing what he had just done, knowing he had just struck the Tribal Chief in the back of the chair, the point in the back, on his back with a steel chair, knowing that this was the point of no return, he made his choice. And now, instead of taking that chair and going after the Usos, going after Solo Sikoa, protecting his friend, knowing fully well that if he did not keep that chair in his hand, he would be stricken down by the Bloodline, Sami Zayn put the chair down and pretty much surrendered himself to his former friends in the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso was in shock. Solo was riveting in rage in the back, and Jey Uso was just torn. He could not believe what Sami Zayn had just done. After all, Jey Uso had just done for Sami to become a full member of the Bloodline, setting up in his defense during the Tribal Court on Monday Night Raw. And then the man that initially accepted Sami Zayn into the Bloodline, no questions asked, he was his very first buddy, his very first friend in the faction, Jimmy Uso. He had no qualms about it. He hit Sami Zayn with a super kick, and that was it. Sami Zayn was down, and Jimmy told Jey, "This your brother? You thought he loved you? Nah, I'm your brother." And the beatdown continued. Reigns got back up. He directed traffic. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso continued their assault. And then Roman Reigns watched something that he hadn't watched in almost 2 years. He watched his cousin, main event Jey Uso, walk out on him on one of the biggest stages possible. And now it seems that Jey Uso might be out of the Bloodline. It seems that Jey Uso might have made his choice as well. We'll find that out later during the week on Raw or SmackDown. We don't know. But then Reigns, after all is said and done, took the steel chair and bashed Zayn multiple times in the back. Much to the And now the question everybody is asking themselves on social media, on any type of wrestling podcast, is where does this end? Where does Sami Zayn end up at WrestleMania? Because I would be remiss to say that fans, and even a little part of me, wants Sami Zayn to get that Universal Championship match at the Show of Shows. They want him to face off against Roman Reigns one-on-one for WrestleMania. But here's the thing, and I know a lot of you people, a lot of you fans are not going to be happy about this because, like I said, Sami Zayn is the most over person currently on WWE TV, and normally that would mean that he should be the one to challenge for the world title and main event WrestleMania. WWE has been doing this story, has been playing this out over the past 9-10 months in preparation for 2 main event caliber matches at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns defending the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship at the Show of Shows in the main event against the winner of the 2023 Royal Rumble match, in this case, Cody Rhodes. And Sami Zayn reuniting with Kevin Owens to challenge the Usos for the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. I think those 2 matches are the planned matches for WrestleMania. How do we get there? I think we're going to get there easily in Montreal. Now, I'm sure Roman Reigns is not advertised for this pay-per-view. So, if he was, and I were booking the show, I would basically just book Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn for the title, and then Jey Uso costs Zayn the championship. Jey Uso picks his side. He sticks with the Bloodline. He sticks with his family. And then the Bloodline starts beating down on Sami Zayn once again in his hometown of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And then Kevin Owens comes out, makes the save, and we get them reuniting and then challenging for the tag titles at WrestleMania. And I believe that's the story to tell. That's the story they've been telling. Jey Uso didn't fully accept Sami Zayn in the Bloodline until War Games in November, just a few months ago. And we just saw what transpired at the Rumble. Jey Uso walked out on the Bloodline because he was torn. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to express in the fact that Zayn turn his back on the bloodline. Now, as a fan, if Sami Zayn instead challenges Roman Reigns on one night, or if he's the only challenger for the Universal Championship and ends up beating Roman Reigns for the title, will I be happy about that? Of course I am. Of course I will. I'm a fan of everything they've been doing. I can't deny the pop that Sami Zayn just received in San Antonio. Everything he's been doing over the past few months. He's been the most entertaining act in wrestling today, possibly. I can't deny that. But there's a part of me that says WWE is going to stick to their plan, and if it were up to me, I would stick to the plan. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Universal Championship. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the Tag Team Championships. Because if you tear those matches down, the Usos have no one to have a match with at WrestleMania. Of that much importance, of that much build-up. Who do you pair up Kevin Owens with? Who do you pair up Cody Rhodes with? There's no set-in-stone feud, rivalry for them to head up into WrestleMania. And the last thing we want for the show of shows, the main stage, the grand reset of WWE's year, is for it to be a bunch of thrown-together last-minute matches. That's just me, and I know a lot of you fans out there are going to have your own predictions, your own comments on what just happened at the Rumble, and that's okay. I'm good with any decision WWE makes, because at the end of the day, I know it'll be entertaining. I know it'll be a very, very good show. It's just managing your expectations and being okay with WWE gives you in the end, because I believe that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens reuniting in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, you got another big pop right there. You got another great moment right there. And what Cody Rhodes did at the Rumble, he made his return at the number 30 spot. He eliminated Gunther, who entered at number 1. He pretty much had a one-on-one match with Gunther in a way that put both of them over. Because Gunther had just spent an hour and 10 minutes in the Rumble. And he was this close to eliminating Cody and winning it all and going on to WrestleMania. And the only reason that didn't happen is because Cody Rhodes entered at number 30 and he was fresh. So Gunther was not buried at all, and he is still the Intercontinental Champion. And yes, there's a lot of fans out there on social media as well that are saying that Cody Rhodes did not deserve to win the Rumble from number 30. That Cody Rhodes did not his way to win the Rumble match. And I think that's preposterous. Simply because he just went through 7 to 8 months of rehab. He put in that work to get back into the ring. If Cody Rhodes had just entered at number 30 and a minute or two later he eliminated everyone and won the Rumble match, then maybe it's a problem. Then maybe it's a storytelling issue, because Gauntlet, he barely wrestled in the match to win it all. No, that did not happen. They had a full blown out 5 to 10 minute match between the last two participants of the Rumble, and Cody Rhodes ended it all by winning and going on to main event WrestleMania. I think that's the main story to tell. So Cody did, in my view, he did earn this Rumble match win, and I believe that it's time for Cody Rhodes to win the world title at WrestleMania and establish him as a top star. And in the meantime, in Elimination Chamber, let's not forget, he still has a bone to pick with Seth frickin' Rollins. Seth frickin' Rollins did not injure Cody Rhodes, but he did attack him while Cody Rhodes was exiting to go to rehab. So I think they have to bookend that rivalry, that feud at Elimination Chamber. I wouldn't mind seeing Rollins versus Rhodes one last time. Now, as far as the Women's Rumble match, I think it was perfectly put together. Because the story was Gunther run the entire gauntlet. He could not win the Rumble match. Well, here we go. 2 women, and Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, who started the match off at 1 and 2, well, 2 and 1 respectively. Well, they went the distance, and one of them won the match, and it was Rhea Ripley, who eliminated Asuka and Liv Morgan to win it all, and now she's going to Wrestle frickin' Mania. And now she's got her pick. Mommy's got her pick. She's got Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. A very enticing main event matchup right there, because just 3 years ago, Charlotte Flair took Rhea Ripley's NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair taught Rhea Ripley a lesson, and now Rhea Ripley is a completely different person, and I wouldn't mind seeing her go after Charlotte Flair once again and be that wrecking machine, go after the Queen and end her title reign as payback for what she did to her at WrestleMania 3 years prior. And let's not forget, that match did not have the fans in the arena. That match was supposed to take place in Tampa Bay on the biggest stage of impossible, with tons of fans just reveling in what the match was going to be. And obviously, for obvious reasons, the pandemic happened. It just didn't happen. So now we get to see that take place where it belongs, in front of a big stage, in front of a jam-packed audience, in this case in Inglewood, California. If not, we've got Bianca Belair, who's been on a run on Monday Night Raw, and ever since NXT, even last year at the Rumble, they were the last 2 women in that Rumble match. It comes full circle. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, the main event women superstars, female superstars of the future. They get that main event for the Raw Women's Championship match, and you cannot tell me that's not going to be a slobber knocker of a match. So either way, with Rhea Ripley winning the Rumble, the fans win with whoever she ends up picking to go 1-on-1 for the Women's World Championship. So I'm glad with how WWE made all the right decisions in terms of the Rumble winners and in terms of what transpired during the main event of the Rumble pay-per-view. But that's just one man's humble opinion. Like I said, it was a great pay-per-view all around, pretty much. It set up WrestleMania. It set up the next few weeks on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what's going to happen tonight on Raw for sure. So it did exactly what it needed to do. It set up a lot of questions. It gave us a few answers that might not be answers yet. But all in all, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was pretty damn good. But again, we're all fans. We're all here for the debate. We all had different reactions, different opinions to what transpired on Saturday night in the Alamo Dome. So go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. I'm Alexis Carrillo, and I had a great time watching the Rumble. I can't wait for Monday Night Raw. So, until next time, see ya.